Well, one of the topics that I find fascinating is Raj's business, the executive search business. And I thought today that we would discuss how do we find productive people, good productive people. I mean, before we discussed about the engagement rates around the world, and for example, in Raj's country, the engagement rate of employees is not so great. Most of them are not happy; they're disengaged in their jobs, right? And then in my country, it's not as bad, but it's not that great either. It's better in the U.S. with Marion's country. And just the other day, I was discussing with a client about what is their engagement rate. And he said, oh, it's good. We send out surveys and everybody seems to be happy. We just have a small amount of people that leave. And then another voice piped up and said, well, and how about your productivity? How about the employees' productivity? And we know that it's actually the productivity measurement that can mean a lot more than engagement. However, the two of them are tied. So, Raj, what do you think about this whole topic? Like when you are helping a company find good people, how do you find those good, productive people? How do you do it?
It's a very challenging role now these days, especially because when you hiring new people and taking interviews and doing filtering, so like I'm giving you example, I'm all whenever I am doing myself, so I can judge through my, I don't know, whenever I touch any CV and meeting with any person through phone call or like direct Zoom call, so when I see CV, immediately within a second I realize this is not right fit or this is right fit through my vibration. I have this sense through my vibration whenever I touch, and whenever my team member also send me CV through my mail, and so I immediately within a second, 10 second, I immediately reply back, no, I didn't find right vibes from this CV. This is, and they sometimes force me, Raj, please try this person is good. So I said, let's, just because of your words, I will try. But I'm telling you, he and she is not the right fit. And just for my team person happiness, I pass on this CV to my client. They took interview, but they rejected in the same manner. So I said, see, I told you, because when I don't know, I have this sense, and if I selected two people for like, and through my team or myself, so my ratio is 100 by 100, that the both two people my client will also like, and then they choice first and second, that way I, and I why I got this sense, because whenever I'm working for my client, I'm always feeling that is my company, not I'm vendor. So I always give my job to 101%, because I thought, no, I cannot do cheating and the wrong employee to my client just for my sake of small money. That is in my nature and blood. So I think that is why I have that great sense. So I, when I see CV, I always checking his consistency, his skill development, his his like I'm giving you one example, like our habit, like my habit is like my gym habit, my writing habit, like my speaking habit, like my food habit. If I'm consistently following regular ways, so like job is also like, if someone is following his consistency, like salesperson, like production person, so I immediately realize when I'm talking with this person 10-15 minutes, he's lied or he's honest. Because some people, like I'm giving you example, like if I'm taking interview for the digital marketing. So, when I ask which project you have done in the very depth way, you explain me.
Mm,
Immediately the right, if the right candidate there, he will explain in a deep way. This is the client name, this is the project, this is the site, this is the keyword, this is the that way, blah blah blah, lots of deep depth story. But the second candidate, the who are not right fit, so he, what he, they thought we are a fool. No, Raj, digital marketing is a very wide field. So, which topic you are talking? So I said, no, I'm not talking about white. I'm also IT literate guy. I'm asking just this point. You explain me. Then they talk in and out different ways. So then I realize immediately. Some people in the sales, I'm giving you example. Like if I'm asking you how much you are in the sales industry last more than 10 years, how much sales you can give me for my client? You just give me. If you are joining any company, how much time you will take? 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 5 months. You just give me. I'm not asking any guarantee, just give me idea. The right candidate always give answer. I'm very confident. Once I will understand the company, within 3 4 months, I can start giving business because I am this industry and my luck will support. So might be within a within joining within 1 or 2 months, I can give. And the artificial and the again the wrong people, they can give. I have done this, I have that client, big client. So I said, give me details of the client and the business. So then again started the twist. No, I am taking care the client solution part, services part. My senior is handling because they don't know depth of the business. So this way I find the right people when you go in the deep way digging because the people, the most of the false and the light people, what they say, I'm doing this turnover, that turnover. When you go in the depth, so it's completely fake. It's a story.
mm. Oh,
Stories, lot of fake stories, lot of stories because some people are very smart to create a story because they have great presentation skills. So they thought they can make fool easily, but they don't realize if someone running a company like any, like Marion, like you, like other people, so they are involving through soul, so they can judge you easily. But the employee mentality, sometimes I have seen the good employees also, the wrong employees are also there. So they thought they can make fool easily.
mm,
So
interesting.
that actually brings up another question because we've talked about the engagement, we've talked about finding the right people, and we talked about being productive. And in my mind, those things may or may not go together. You might find the right person, right? You might have somebody that's really eager, they're skilled, they're good human beings, they really care, but they're turning out not to be productive.
Mhm.
And so my question then is, Raj or Betska for that matter, like what have you found in your experience, like what makes an employee truly productive?
Mhm.
And just sharing from my experience, I've seen that when employees feel valued, they feel appreciated, they're happy in their environment, there's clear communication, there's a clear understanding of their role and the expectations, and they feel respected. That's
Mhm.
when, and they have the tools that they need, that's when they truly become from that great employee, right? Like the skeleton of a great employee to actually being a productive employee, because doesn't everybody want to be productive
Mhm.
ultimately?
Mhm.
It's like,
Yes.
what's been your experience in that?
Well, I'm going to answer it very simply, and that is that productive employees, in my opinion, are people who know their job and can apply their skills and put in a good day's work. They're not taking 2-hour lunches or whatever. They're honoring the time that their employer is requesting that they be there. So they have a good skill set. They are applying that skill. They're taking fruitful action, and the company is benefiting from it. The
Mm.
other part that's really important is that they have people skills, that they're able to interact with their colleagues, because many people, many geniuses, right? Very left brain geniuses, high IQ, can get the job done, but most of the time they're doing it they can only do it on their own because they don't have the ability to positively interact with others. You see? So
Yeah.
that, and I see that all the time as a coach. You know, the people will come to me because they lost their job because they don't have the right people skills. So this is something we need to teach in MBA school and university. Yeah.
It's an interesting point, because when you look at what Raj just shared, when he's looking for individuals, that the interview process is usually like individual, right? Raj and the individual, and then perhaps the interview becomes part more of the group. But really what is important is once that person is embedded into that culture, into that team, like what happens from there? You could have the seemingly perfect candidate, but if it isn't a good fit, or if these interpersonal skills aren't there, or that the people aren't aligned, then the whole thing might go awry.
Absolutely. So thank you both for your feedback here today. Yeah, great discussion. Thanks.
Thank you.
Can anybody out there hear me?